In this video, we're going to talk about the second drawing sheet. And on the second drawing sheet, we are going to have the dimensions. So you need to open up your first drawing sheets so that way we can save them together. Open up Inventor first, then open up the drawing sheet, just like I had talked about in a video before. Don't try to open your drawing sheet straight from your file. So at this point, pause the video, go get your first drawing sheet, and open it if you haven't already. And then play whenever yours looks like this, whenever you've got yours up. Okay, so now that we've got this open, we want to add to the drawing sheets. All right, and I called mine working drawings because that's what they're considered. I click New Sheet. I want a second one. Okay. My assignment name still is Puzzle Cube. My name. The scale I do not know at this point. I've got to play with it and decide. I don't have any revisions, and my sheet number is 2. I click OK. All right, and I'll go back and do the scale later. All right, so just like before, left to right, we're going to put the base in first, and we're wanting these to be your dimensioned, your multi-view sketches. And you want to do a little multi-view sketch of each one. So I'm going to click Base, and I need to go find the pieces. Now, there's really no rhyme or reason to what order you're going to put them on there. Some people like to put them in the order that they placed them in. So, like on your item numbers, you have item number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can put them in that order. Here, they're alphabetical, so I could put them in that way. I think it does look nice if you go through and do the item number and say, okay, item number 1 is blue, so I'm going to click on the blue one and I'm going to open it up. All right, so now I've got to decide what I want it to look like for my front view, right? Because you're going to place the front view first when you do a multi-view sketch. So I'm going to click this right here because this I can't guarantee was my front view. In fact, I look at it and I know it really wasn't the true front view that I would want to show for a drawing sheet. So I'm going to just go ahead and change the view orientation so I can see it a little bit better. All right, so let's look at this. All right, and I don't know if you remember, but one of the rules is that it needs to be the length, the longest length would be your front view. The one with the most, I guess the most contours, or the most dimensions. You don't want to have any hidden lines on your front view if at all possible. All right, so to me, that would be, this is the longest. I look at it and I don't see any hidden lines that would happen. All right, and the most detail would also be from this view here. So I'm happy with my front view now. So I'm going to click Finish Custom View. All right, we don't want this colored because it is a multi-view sketch. I want my ISO colored, but I can go back and color it. So I'm not going to shade it this time. And I do want hidden lines. Right? So it knows that I've picked a front view, which is why this time it already has the hidden line chosen. Okay. We don't want to hide them in this case. Only on the ISO would we want to hide those hidden lines. So make sure that that one's clicked. And scale, this is a little too big. I am not going to be able to get dimensions as well as 5 puzzle cubes with this one. So in this case, you would play around with it. I already know that 3/4 is the best. So I'm just going to type in 0.75 because I know that that's the best one. I've already played with this particular one. But in future references, whenever you're doing this, you're going to play with it and decide what you think is the best scale for your drawing sheets. All right, so I placed the front one first. So I'm going to left click. I'm going to move up, left click, move to the right, left click, and move down, left click. right click, and I'm going to create that. Now I want this one to be colored. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to edit my view, and I'm going to color it and click OK. All right, so now if I want to move things around, notice I wait until I get those little arrows that look like this. And notice how the front and the right are always going to stay together, and the front and top are always going to stay together, because that's very important. And by moving the front one, you're moving the other ones at the same time. All right, we can play with that later whenever we start putting dimensions on it. So now it's time to go back in and get the next one. Right. At this point, you can go ahead and go back and see which one would be 2, 3, 4, whatever. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and go through the rest of them. I'm going to open it. I need to go in and find my front view. In this case, I had chosen the best one originally for my front view. Click Finish Custom View. Again, I know I want it on 0.75. I want the hidden lines to show up, and I don't want it colored. So right about here would be my front view, I think. Again, I can always move it later. I left click, go up, left click, go to the right, left click, and come down and left click. I'm going to right click and create. I want this one to be colored, so I move until I have the little arrows. I right click, edit view, color. Okay, if you've got this down, go ahead and pause it and start doing yours. I'm going to go ahead and finish each one. So you can either fast forward once you're finished or continue to watch. I'll talk through it. All right, I've picked my next cube. Click open. All right, I'm going to go look at this view and decide if I think it's the best one. It's not the best one. So again, I want it to be the longest. So this would be the longest. I don't want any hidden lines. I'm going to choose this one. Right, I can either do it like this, or I could do it like this. Whichever one you think looks best, you choose. I think this one's going to look the best as my front view. Click Custom View, Finished. Again, 0.75 scale, hidden lines, and I don't want it colored, so I don't have that clicked. Move this out of the way. This will be my front view, top view, ISO view, right view. And I'm left clicking each time. Now that I'm done, I right click and click Create. Go back in and color it. Again, base. Go on down to the orange one. Open it up. 0.75. I have hidden lines. I don't have it colored. I want to look and make sure that this is the correct front view. It's not. I want it to not have any hidden lines. Sometimes I look at the ISO to make sure how it's going to look. Okay, so this looks good, but I want to rotate it so that it's the longest as well. So we have the longest, no hidden lines, and most descriptive, I guess you could say, look from it. Most detail. Finish that custom view. Everything I'd already checked looks correct. So drop your first view first, left click, left click, left click, left click, right click, create. Go back and color. All right, one last piece. and that's my purple piece. Okay, going in to look to see what the best front view is. This one looks an awful lot like one of my pieces. It basically, the only difference is that piece right there is on this side for the other color. But again, most detail, no hidden lines, and longest would be this view right here. I finish my custom view. I have 0.75 hidden lines, and it is shaded. Oh, it's not shaded, I mean. Okay, not shaded. All right, you can either put it up here at the top or at the bottom. It doesn't really matter. All right, so I'm going to left click, go up, left click, left click, left click, right click, create, and then I'm going to color it. All right, so now it's time to start dimensioning. So hopefully you've already watched the dimensioning guidelines. If you have not, please go back and watch that first, because I'm not going to go over too many of the guidelines as I'm working on this. All right, and then I can move things around when I start dimensioning. So to dimension, oh, and also let's go back right now. I know what scale this is now. Okay, so here I'm going to click plus. We're on sheet 2. It's the it looks like sheet 1 is selected, but it's not. It is actually sheet 2. I could go back to sheet 1 and click on it, double click. I can see sheet 1 and see how sheet 2 is the grayed out area. Double click on sheet 2. I'm now looking at sheet 2. Right. I can click the plus and see whatever's under each one. All right, so custom block B. Click the little plus, double click on filled text. I can go in here and say a 0.75 scale. Let me go ahead and click OK. And also, yours should have auto-filled this in because you went in and changed all of your blocks to wood maple. If not, you're going to use the same trick that you had used on sheet 1, where you're just going to go ahead and type it in as text. All right, so I'm ready to annotate it. Annotate is whenever you put anything on the sheet, word-wise, all right, or dimensions, numbers. All right, if I was just dimensioning one dimension, I would click dimension and click on whatever length I'm doing. But I'm not wanting to do that. I want to dimension everything at one time. So I'm either going to do a baseline, which is what you saw before. Let me go ahead and click baseline and show you how this looks, where I would click each line that would be dimensioned. So if I'm dimensioning the depth for this one, right, notice I clicked the closest to the direction it's going to be going, clicked all 3 lines. All of these lines, I need to know the dimensions in between. Right? So I've clicked this one, and this one. Now I'm going to right click and I'm going to continue. It puts these dimensions in here for me. And if you'll kind of notice, as soon as I get a certain distance, they all turn to dotted lines. All right, so before that, they kind of, all of a sudden they turn to dotted lines and they lock in place. That's where I want it. I would right click. Excuse me, let me try this again. Once I get it there, I left click, then I right click, and I create it. So now I have the depth. I couldn't have done depth on this one because of this hidden line here. Now I need to figure out where to do height. And I need to choose, am I going to do baseline or am I going to do chain? For these sizes, when we're looking at such small drawings, chain is not going to work as well because the numbers aren't going to fit in as easily. But let me show you what a chain would look like. I click chain and say I'm going to do my, we're going to do our length on the front view. Okay, so this line, and this line are going to need to have extension lines from them. I'm going to right click, I'm going to continue, and notice that it looks now, it's chained dimensions together. I left click, I right click, and I would create. This would be an incorrect drawing sheet though, because I can't have chained and baseline on the same sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and undo. And for these drawings, I want you to use baseline. I don't want you to use chain. I just wanted to give you an example of how to do it if it comes up later. All right, so I'm going to click baseline again, and I'm going to click each one of these lines because I need an extension line from every one of those lines. I'm going to right click. I'm going to continue. Okay, notice how it locks in place all of a sudden. It turns all dotted. I left click to say yes, that's where I want it. I right click to create it. So I have a depth and I have a length, but I do not have a width yet, or excuse me, a height yet. Right, so I need a height. I can't do it on this one because of the hidden lines. So I'm going to click baseline. Again, I'm going to click each one of these lines. Right? Each one of these would need to have extension lines from them. That's how I know that I'm going to click those lines. I'm going to right click. I'm going to continue. When it locks into place, I left click to say yes, I want it there. Right click to create it. I've now done my height, my length or width, whichever one you want to call it, and I've done my depth. I'm going to do the next one. Click baseline. Notice I'm doing these in between the adjacent views. I'm going to click each one of these lines. I'm ready to do the length or width. I've chose this one because we have the most detail or contours on this particular view, the top view. Right. I right click and say continue. Okay, I'm going to bring it down. Wait until it locks into place. Left click. Yes, that's where I want it. Right click, create. Now I did something on purpose here. I chose this line instead of this one, the one closest to where the extensions lines are. So I'm going to zoom in and notice that it's connected. You cannot have an extension line connected to your object lines. So I am going to come in and find my little green dot, and I can bring it down to the very end. Notice now I have the correct distance between my object line and my dimension line. So again, it was right here. Well, let me undo that. It looked like this. I came up and found the green line. I brought it down to the corner. I dropped it, and it gave me the correct distance. All right, so that's why if you happen to pick the wrong line, you can always move those green lines around. All right, looks to me like I need to move this down because it looked like it was getting into my front one. Or I could even have moved this one up a little bit. Move it around so that way it looks nice. Okay, now I need I don't really like these lines crossing if at all possible. So I'm going to go ahead and do my depth on my right side. Do baseline. Click each one. Notice I'm picking the one closest to where the dimension or the extension line is going to be. I'll choose each one that would have an extension line from it. I right click, continue. Wait till it locks into place. And I would, it just doesn't seem like it's, okay. Left click, right click, create. Seems to me like I need to pull this down a little bit again. All right, now I need to do a height. So I'm going to go ahead and do my height this time on my front view. Notice I picked the ones right where the extension lines are needing to lead from. Right click, continue until it locks into place. Left click, right click, create. And go ahead and scoot these over a little bit. like to keep my stuff lined up, so I would go ahead and move these over a little bit as well. Okay, so I'm going to also bring this one down so that they keep pretty well lined up. All right, now I'm ready to do the next one. Baseline. This one looks a lot like the one I just did with the black one. All right, so I'm going to, oh yeah, it's the black and green one. Earlier I had said it was the purple one, was like another one, but it's not. So, okay, so the green one would be the same concept. All right, baseline, pick each one. This one has the most contour, so I've chosen to use it. Continue, bring it down until it locks into place. Left click, right click, create. All right, let's kind of bring this up a little bit. Bring this one down slightly, so that way they don't get into each other's space. Okay, again, the height. Just going to do the same thing. Notice I pick the ones closest to where the leader lines will be. Right click, continue, so they lock into place. Left click, right click, create. Notice this line is here, but that's okay because it's just pointing that that object line is at that distance. Right, it's okay that it crosses over the object. Okay, we'll move this over a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do my height, or excuse me, my depth on this one. Right click, continue. Left click, right click, create. Okay, let's go ahead and move those down a little bit as well. Keep them all lined up and looking nice. Again, baseline. Let's go ahead and do this one here. They have about the same contour, but it doesn't have the hidden line. I really don't like to put very many dimensions on something with a view with a hidden line. So I chose each one that are going to have extension lines from them. Right click, continue, locks into place, left click, right click, create. I'm going to go ahead and do the height, baseline, pick each one of these, right click, continue, left click, right click, create. I'm going to go ahead and move this over slightly. So now I move this one over slightly. Right now I have not done a depth, so I either do it on this one or I'm going to do it on this one. I'd like to go ahead and put it on here. Okay, baseline. Now I need to do my depth. Right click, continue. Left click, right click, create. Right, so again, I have my width or length, I have my height, and I have a depth. I have one more to dimension now. Baseline. This one seems to have more contour than this one, so we're going to go ahead and put the length or the width on this one. Notice I pick every single line that needs an extension line from it, that needs to be dimensioned. So every line in that direction is what I chose. I right click, continue, okay, get it to where it locks into place. I left click, right click, create. Notice I need to move this one, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit and go ahead and bring this one up a little bit. I need to line them up anyways, as you could tell. Now I need to do a height. I can either do it from this one or this one. This view has hidden lines. I just like to stay away from those. So I click baseline. I'm going to pick each one of these lines that needs an extension line from it. Right click, continue. Left click, right click, create. Go ahead and move this one over a little bit. There's plenty of room. Move this over a little bit so it looks good. And I need to go ahead and get my depth. I'd either need to do it on this one or this one. I'm going to choose this one. Baseline. Pick each one of these lines to go in that direction. Right click, continue. left click, right click, create. All right, so once you're satisfied with it, notice that I want to go back and I want to say I have a width or length for each one of them. Right? I didn't duplicate it, I only did it once. I have a depth for each one of them. Here's my depth, here's my depth, my depth, my depth, my depth. I need a height for each one of them. I stuck it here, 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 and here. All right, so I've got my length, my height, and my depth for all of them. I've got my title block already. Okay, and this will give you the same date that you did on the first one. So if you're doing this on a different day, you need to double click, click on creation date, click on the I properties, project, go over here and click today's date. Click OK. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click OK because now I've got everything the way it needs to look. It's time to print it. You print it the same way that you printed the first one. If you haven't printed the first one, you're going to go ahead and print them both at the same time. If you have printed the first one, you're just going to print this sheet. All right. So again, if you wanted to look at sheet 1, you can double click on it and look at it. Sheet 2. Okay. Looks like the sheet 1 changed dates. If yours did that, don't worry about it. It's okay. We're ready to print it. So I'm going to go up here, click on the large I. I'm going to click print. I'm going to do my current sheet. If I was printing sheet 1 and sheet 2, say you had some modifications to your sheet 1, you would click all sheets, but for me, I just want to print the second one, the one I just did. I'm going to click properties, printing shortcuts. Again, this is an 11 by 17 paper. I need it from tray 1, and the rest are the same. Click OK, and it's ready to print. So you click OK, but don't click OK until you make sure that tray 1 has been pulled out, that you have 11 by 17 paper in it, and it's ready to print. And again, just put one sheet in for yourself, so that way if somebody else is printing something else, we don't waste a lot of 11 by 17 paper. As you have questions, please ask.